How's it going, guys? My name is John Fernandez. I'm a street photographer and filmmaker based out of New York City. And in this video, I'm going to give you my holiday gifts guide for 2022. And honestly, this can work for, pretty much any year in the future. I'm going to try to keep it concise, but I will have chapters down below if you sort of want to skip through and around the video, if you want to look for something specific. Everything I mentioned in this video will be linked in the description, so make sure you go check out the description if there's something you are interested in. And I'm going to jump straight into this video. If you see me look over here to my left, it's because I have my list of items I'm going to talk about in this video, and I'm going to start off with cameras. And I'm going to assume that if you're watching this video, whoever you're shopping for is probably already a photographer to some extent, and they already have their main camera they shoot with. So I'm not going to talk about, the best and greatest, newest cameras, because that would just go down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down in this video. But I'm going to talk about a couple like backup cameras that you can buy. Fun little cameras that you can kind of shoot with that they probably would not expect they would enjoy as much as they would. So the first I'm going to talk about is the camera I just bought recently, and I made a review on one of my last videos, the Ricoh GR3X, small point and shoot style fixed lens camera with a kick-ass image quality that's really fun to use one-handed. So that's the first one I would recommend. The second one is the Fujifilm X100V, a little bit more expensive, a little bit bigger, but really sexy, really fun, really cool to use. Sort of has like that retro style look to it, which is awesome. The next camera is the Fujifilm Instax camera, and so this is one of those Polaroid style cameras that you take a photo, there's no manual controls, and it prints out a photo right then and there. Really fun camera to have for not just photographers, but anybody really. You can just kind of in the moment take a photo with your family, your friends, whatever it is, and kind of capture the moment. And in the moment, you have a printed picture in your hand, which is honestly invaluable and priceless in my opinion. Sort of going along the same line is disposable film cameras. So like those yellow Kodak style cameras that you can buy at like a pharmacy. Really fun to use, especially if they're going to be going on a trip or, some concert or anything like that, where they just kind of want to have a small little camera that they can take around with them and capture moments, get the film developed, and then have physical prints of these moments. Kind of going along that same line, it is not a camera, but a really great gift that I've gifted many people in the past are those sort of mobile printers. The one I've always bought people is the Polaroid one. It's always worked really well. I think it comes with like 25 or 50 sort of paper refills and ink cartridges. And those are great because everyone's obviously taking photos on their phone, but sometimes they want to print out those photos, but they don't have the ability to do so. This makes it really easy over Bluetooth. You hit print through the app and you have a Polaroid picture that you just took on your iPhone or whatever other phone that you have. So now I'm going to talk about bags, mainly backpacks, but a couple of sling bags. The first bag that I will recommend is the Peak Design Everyday Backpack. This is the bag that I use, that I have right here. Absolutely love this bag. I have a review on my channel that I'll also link down below if you want to check it out. It is the bag I use every day. It is, in my opinion, the best everyday backpack, not just for photographers, but other people as well. It's really functional. It's just really fun to use, and it looks really good. The second bag I am going to mention is the Hex brand backpack. I have one as my backup bag, and I also use it for travel because it's a little bit bigger. I have the Cinema version, which is like the bigger version of the backpack, but these bags, for the price, in my opinion, are the best bags. They're, number one, really comfortable. And number two, they have a lot of storage and they secure and protect your gear really well. There's not a lot of gimmicks to it. It's just a camera bag that is really well padded, works really well, and has good storage options. And it's sort of like, for the price, the best bag, in my opinion, that you can get. Another good bag recommendation that I've used a lot is the Lower Pro Tactic backpack. This is what I use at my job, actually. And that is another great bag that is very protected. It is very padded and has a lot of good customization storage options. Another good bag to look at. Sort of any of the Lower Pro bags are good. I'll probably leave a couple of links down below to the ones I've used. And then a couple of other bags that you can buy. If your photographer that you're buying a gift for already has a backpack, then they could definitely use a sling bag. I use every day the Hex brand sling bag. I use a small version. I wish I had the bigger version, to be honest, but They both work well depending on the size of camera that this person has that you're shopping for. So the Hex brand sling bag is really, really good. Peak Design also makes a really good one, as well as some other companies like Moment also makes one that I've used that's also really good. So I have those all linked down below. Sling bags are just really good to have for if a person doesn't want to carry multiple lenses and they're just kind of going out on like a day trip or doing street photography or whatever it is, and they want to carry some stuff with them, or maybe, you know, a camera and a small lens, whatever it is. Sling bags are always a good option to have, and I think they make fantastic gifts, maybe even a little better than backpacks. So the next category is probably the category that I would probably love the best if somebody were to buy for me, and it's storage, memory storage. And so the reason why I would love this gift, or, you know, other photographers would love this gift, is we don't always like spending money on storage. Storage, while it is cheap, it's also expensive, and, you know, I have been in the habit of just buying small, like 2-3 terabyte hard drives, and I now have literally like 8 hard drives like at my desk. So the first, you know, storage gift that I'm going to recommend you buy somebody is like a 14 terabyte hard drive. And so these are going to be a little expensive, but for the amount of space you're getting, they're actually not that expensive. You can pick them up for like $250, $300. I'll have several linked down below. For the most part, these aren't hard drives to be edited on. They're just storage and backup space. So they're not super fast or anything like that, but they just work well to keep you know, files safe. And so get a big one, 14 terabytes, so then you can avoid having a ton of different, you know, random small external hard drives, and you can just have one big one that you put all of your backups on. If you don't want to get a big one, then yes, you can get smaller 5 terabyte, 2 terabyte hard drives for them. So the next storage item I'm going to recommend is a SSD, an external SSD. So instead of buying a hard drive for storage, and just for storage, you can buy them a quick little SSD like this that they can travel with and edit with. I use this for editing on the go, and I absolutely love it. It is super, super fast and really, really easy to edit on. And it's just good. Then I can edit on a external thing that I can kind of switch between my desktop and my laptop. And then once I'm done with those files, I can transfer them back to, you know, a backup drive. And the last storage item I'm going to talk about are SD cards. Yes, memory cards are something that photographers don't always buy because they already have a ton, but then always need more regardless. So just, you know, buying them an SD card, a couple SD cards, some good ones, some, you know, 128 gig, 256 gig SD cards would be really, really good for them to have. So the next section is my favorite section, which is sort of like the random miscellaneous gag gift stuff. And so the first one is actually really useful, and it is a Jackery power bank. This is sort of a generator, a power generator that you can plug in with like an actual like outlet to charge it, but then you could take it with you on the go, and it's just a really good way to keep all of your gear charged. I used to use this back in Miami when I was doing a lot of landscape photography in the Everglades, and I needed to kind of charge things on the go. I would just kind of keep it in my car, and when a battery would run out, I would just plug in the battery. I've also used it for drones before. When I used to shoot real estate, I would charge drones on the go with the Jackery as well. Kind of always kept it in my car, and it was always just super useful, always came in handy. The next thing I'm going to mention is sort of the on-the-go bug spray clip or bug repellent clips that attach to belts and backpacks. Again, this is something I use all the time when I was doing landscape photography, but if your photographer shoots landscapes or streets or just in a climate where there's a lot of bugs or mosquitoes, then I would highly recommend this. It's super easy to just attach to your backpack or belt loop, and it sort of just emits a spray that keeps the bugs away, which is fantastic. And you know, instead of using bug spray, they can use that. The next thing is raincoats. You know, if your photographer doesn't have a raincoat and they go out, you know, shooting in the outdoors a lot, whether it's street photography, landscape photography, just outdoor portrait photography, or anything like that, car photography, really doesn't matter. As long as they're shooting outside, weather isn't always compliant, and so getting them a nice raincoat is definitely something that they would appreciate. I have multiple that I use all the time, and I love them. The next thing I'm going to mention are just little gag gift style t-shirts, anything relating to photography. I shoot raw, camera company logos, cameras, Whatever it is, I think these shirts work really well as gifts because they're just fun little personality presents that they would enjoy. The next photo gift is a great one. It is coffee mugs that look like lenses. These are always just fun little things to have around the house. I have one that is a EF 24-105 like Canon lens that looks exactly like the lens, but it's actually a coffee mug. And yeah, those are just, again, fun little gag gifts to bring a little joy to their everyday life. So I'm going to conclude the video here. If there's anything I missed, any gift that you think other people would get value reading, make sure you leave it down in the comments so they can see it. And let me know if you're a photographer, what's, a gift that you've gotten before that you've absolutely loved. And I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Peace, guys.